So if you didn't know already, Generate Blocks has a new version available. It's called Generate Blocks 2.0 and it's available in beta. And we're going to take a look at it. So this is the page. We can share it in the description down below as well, where you can download the Generate Blocks 2.0 Alpha 1 version for free, and you also have a Pro version. Now there's some differences between those two, but those aren't really apparent in this section in this on this page. Would love to see a table of comparison, what kind of new things are available, but I couldn't find it very quickly. So I've never worked with Generate Blocks before, but I've worked with other Gutenberg editors and just wanted to try this out as well. Currently, one of my favorite ones, GreenShift, by the way, if you would like to know. But as you can see, I've installed it in here, and inside of the settings, there are not much of things you can set, but I guess this is what you need by default. And if we add a, let's just go crazy and add a new page. Let's see what we can do. We don't need the presets. And in here, we have the jet engine blocks, which we can ignore. And here are the generate blocks that are available. So what is new from my understanding is the grid block, and that you have very lot of control of what kind of grids are in there. Also, what's new is the tag, that you can change the tags. And we can add all kinds of things inside of the grid. So in the container, for example, we can add a heading and a text field and that sort of things. I see that didn't add inside the container. So let's change that. And what I really like is how this looks quite similar to the Greenlight project. But one thing it already has available are dynamic data. And if we open up dynamic tags and look into it, we see that we have a post title available. And we can set for a specific post or for a current post. And we select a current specific post. We can select a lot of things. We can select the posts, the pages, jet engine things, and recipes. So that was a very nice surprise. The dynamic data is already available by default in Generate Blocks, which isn't available in most of the other tools. Then you have to pay an extra. One thing that's also very new is install. So you can search. So if we search, for example, for text, we are able to select a text color. And what I really like is they can set some kind of hover statement. So if you go into... where was it? No, damn it. I thought it was in here as well. You can set hover state. Yeah. When we press the more option, you have the ability to also select the hover and focus. And when we select the hover and focus, you can change the color of this text. We go to typography and we go to, for example, green. And when we hover on this, you see that the color changes to green. And this is a very nice way to get everything in there. That's also a very nice overview. You can see everything that's available, and when you open in the hub, you have a lot of options available, and it's really powerful if you ask me, just out of the box. Now, one thing is missing from the free version compared to the pro version is to have access to the global classes. Which I can see for most people doesn't matter, but for me as a ex-front-end dev, it disturbs me that that is already only available in the pro version, but it's what it is. So it's really easy to add those, and it's also really easy to make a grid. You can also change the grid. Let's have a look. How do you change the grid actually? Do you do it in layout? Yeah, grid template columns. You can create another grid in there. Sizing. I don't know. How do you change? Here you can set. But those are predefined, and I guess you can set it any way you would like to. Let's see. Thanks for joining, Jonathan, by the way. Self LCD for general best, but I'm not sure if I want to. Yeah, I get that one. And that's what discouraged me at the time. I was hoping for an LTD for general blocks. And now we need to bundled version. Yeah. Ooh, something happened there. What more can I say? Now, sometimes you don't have everything set. So there's a way to filter all the options available. So you can set it to hide empty controls. And when you do that, everything that's not set by you will be hidden. When I press this one and I filter everything that has it's empty, then you only see the ones that are used by you. So that's a very nice option to have, that you don't need to go through everything and to find the options that you've changed, but you see all the options available. And if we now press publish and we preview the page, we see that there's something missing. And the reason is quite simple, because the post title isn't added. So if we add a post title and go back to the page again to see the preview, we see hello, and when we hover, you have the hover effect. This isn't available by default. So I think generate blocks is a really easy, a nice tool actually to be used. You know, it seems like inspired by Apple. Nice. So although I've never used generate blocks before, I think it's a really great tool to be used. The nice additions and the nice UI, it's looking very clean and has a lot of Gutenberg aesthetics in there. One thing that I find awkward, but also great, you have to pick and choose, right? You have to either pay another plugin for the dynamic content. Like GreenShift doesn't have the dynamic content added by default, but it does have the class system in there, and generate blocks does have the dynamic content available right out of the gate, but doesn't allow you to add global classes. So you have to pick one of the other, but you can also go to premium versions, to pro versions, and then you have everything available for you. So that's something to consider.